Years ago,
Mm.
I left my job. We started a business. One of the reasons why I left my job was the video was this video that you sent me.
Yes,
Do
it
you remember
is.
sending it to me?
I definitely remember sending it to you because your job was sucking the life out of you. You were literally shedding hair like a waterfall.
And it wasn't until Erica sent me this video with Jordan Peterson kind of sharing when it's time to move on from your job that it really clicked.
Cause you are the best thing that's ever happened to me.
If you're in a workplace and pathological things are happening, this is easy. I can tell you how you know if pathological things are happening at your workplace or they're happening with you. One of the two, but you can straighten that out. If you're being required to do things that make you weak and ashamed, then stop. Don't do them. You should prepare to find a better job. Because if you can't tell someone to go to hell, then you can't negotiate with them. And if they've got you over a barrel, then you can't say anything. So you gotta set yourself up so you've got some mobility. And actually, that's a really good principle in your life, period. You know, and you might say, I should just keep my goddamn head down and shut up. It's like, maybe you should. Like, that's not bad advice.
Yeah,
You know,
that's good.
you don't want to make unnecessary enemies, and you don't need any more trouble than you need. But you got to ask yourself on a day-to-day basis, what makes you think you're not selling your soul?
Question. Do you feel like your job's making you weak
What does that mean, though?
through like things that I believed were good and true? And I was sacrificing those things for things that were not good and true.
Yeah.
And so that makes a person weak.
Mm.
The second part was when you felt like you were losing your soul. And what that meant to me was I was becoming a person that was different than who I was. I'll never forget when you said, Eric, you lost your joy. You lost your twinkle. Because you said you had a twinkle and now it's gone.
It was gone, and it was really hard to watch because nothing shakes you. You
Yeah.
experience sorrow, but you are still at your core Eric, who is content, who is joyful, who is looking for the bright side.
Mhm.
And I will never forget my husband. My husband, he does not do this, beating on the dashboard. Do you remember this?
I
You were
probably
beating
blocked
on
it
the
out.
dashboard, and you were like, "Do you think I like being this way?
Oh, jeez.
I don't even like myself. I don't even recognize myself anymore." And you started crying.
Yeah. That was hard.
And I remember this clip came shortly after.
Mm.
And I was like, that moment in the car where you just broke down.
And you helped me through it. Because one, I mean, one, you were praying for me.
Yes.
Two, you were just supporting me. Three, you kept dropping things like this that made me say, okay, yeah, this spoke to me in a way that other people couldn't.
Mm.
And so what would you say to the spouse who's seeing their loved one walk through a difficult job situation?
I think it's being able to support. I had to be really careful not to push Eric like so hard. So I dropped things like this because I didn't want to be another source that drained him, that discouraged him, that made him feel like he was failing, right?
Right.
If you came home to me nagging, why do you keep, why, like, one, that sounds annoying. I'm annoyed by how I even said it. But you were already so beaten down by the people that you worked for that I needed to be very careful to make sure I was holding your hand through it.
Yeah.
And now that you're out,
You get clarity. And that was the biggest thing. I got clarity on how big the world actually is.
yeah.
Because when you're stuck in a world, you just think that that's it, and you're trying to rise to the top of that world, and then you get out of it, you're like, wow, the world's so much bigger than this, and
Yeah.
And then you're also stuck looking at the people in that world who make it feel as though they own it. They own they own your reality. And when you get out of it, God graciously shows you. He's gracious. I should say he graciously showed me. One, I had made much of my job, much more than it was, because they found another Eric Schwartz.
Yeah,
No time,
we
you know
we
what I
feel
mean?
like, oh, we want to be here and we can help this
Yeah.
place, but we're
They're
all
gonna find another
replaceable.
Eric Schwartz, yeah. Two, so one, I had made too much of it, and it revealed that idol in my heart that I had made more of this than it should have been. And then two, it reminded me that work is going to work on you. Your job is going to work on you. And I think, secondly, it's going to work through you to care for other people. And then lastly, work will work for you in terms of making you some money. And I think sometimes we mix those orders up, and we forget that the job is actually going to work on you. That's what God's most interested in. He wants you to become the best version of you, right? The version that pleases him most. And the jobs will do that to you. They'll stretch you in certain ways. And then next, it should work through you to enhance his kingdom, that his kingdom will grow as a result of your faithfulness and in the job that he has you in. And then last, it'll be a provision. But God can provide for you anyway, anywhere, right? It's not like it has to be at this job. We've seen it ourselves, God's provision in many, many different ways. But most importantly, the jobs that we have, he's working on us and he's working through us.
Yeah. And I want to clarify, now, you aren't perfect at your work.
Oh, no.
And you have hindsight.
I think I was one of the pathological ones.
Yeah. And stepping away from that allowed you to see that.
Mhm.
There was a mourning period, which is understandable because that place was your part of your life for 30
Long time.
plus years, right? And I think that's important to acknowledge. But we jumped into a new world together, and it's been rocky, and we're still trying to find our footing in a lot of ways. But now I think you're able to dream even bigger than the ceiling that was capped where you were.
Yeah.
Financially, emotionally, all of it.
Mm-hmm.
You are able to now see that there is so much more potential in yourself and in growing and learning that many more people you can help who maybe are afraid and worried just like you.
I've grown in so many ways. Like I just shared, like when you get on that adventure, God is going to work on you in so many ways. Yeah. You're going to be seeing things about yourself that you never would have seen had you stayed where you were.
Stay the same, 'cause you are the best thing that's ever happened to me. I was not the type to slow down my life for you. I was young and I was full of fire.